I come to offer something of value. But what even is something of value to begin with? If we go with a basic subconscious reaction to that statement, it would look like something that benefits the viewer in some way. But is anything we do really benefiting them in the long run? No one can teach anyone anything, only remind them of what their soul already knows deep down. I'm speaking beyond the traditional sense of the word teach, of course, a deeper meaning in a way. If they are not ready to hear it, no amount of information will change that for them. And when they are ready, they'll seek it out and find it for themselves through all the dross. So what is the use? To me, what is of utmost importance is to keep the flame of knowledge and remembrance alive by focusing on a line of thinking that allows us to break through the matrix. There may be better ways to describe this, but this is what I am going with now. We spend the day consuming all sorts of content that we feel is of value and conducive to our growth and development, but something is lacking. As we know, almost all forms of media, including informative content, spiritual or otherwise, is imbued with some form of subversion. The content could be seen as if presented as a spell, or that a negative energy is imbued into it which sucks our spirit no matter how useful the content could be. If we can, however, become aware of the idiosyncrasies and subversion tactics of said media and glean the so-called gems from any piece of content, we will be on the path to success. This is a tricky balance that we must strive to achieve and will achieve, as our soul has a path set for us, as long as we are sincere. Some would say this is inherently wrong and you are playing with fire, to even be involved with something that is a danger to your mental spiritual well-being and imbued with such negativity. But, as it sits at this moment, our mind is geared toward consuming things externally for satisfaction, be it physical, mental, or spiritual, be it food, material things that catch our fancy, or information to scratch a mental itch of curiosity. After all, we are in this world and must adapt and become aware of what's out there. What all of this should ultimately converge into is a yearning for spiritual understanding and knowledge of how the world works. The system is designed with this in mind, and now the initial reason you came to seek out the content has been subverted. For example, you go to a source to learn about proper nutrition and diet, but you're fed misinformation about how dairy is necessary for humans or how meat and cheese is a main food group. Or, for example, you go to a mainstream source for healthcare information and you're given advice and recommendations that go against holistic and natural health principles. These are just some basic examples of the poisoning of the narrative that is prevalent in any subject or field of research today. This is because ultimately, the knowledge you seek is supposed to lead you to a state of silence and peace, but for the narrative to continue, for the show to continue, for the world to continue the way it is, the chatter cannot stop. That is the job of the Maya. That is the job of the illusion. There is evidence to show at the very least that the electrical systems that we have today are detrimental to our health. What are the implications of this and how deep does the rabbit hole go considering the evidence linked to 5G conspiracies or the nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors patents? This connects to further theories about lower fourth-dimensional entities that possibly travel through electrical fields and likely connects to the concept of Luxing, how spirit energy may be harvested and used as fuel for the illusion by various means, but we won't get into that now. These are just small clues as to what might be going on behind the scenes, and as always we must use our discernment. In summary, the content you will see on public platforms seems to always be geared towards taking something from you by showing you things your spirit should not fundamentally agree with, wearing us down with a barrage of poisoned information and draining us in some way mentally, physically, and spiritually, until you, yourself, take a stand and say enough is enough.